You know, the Mid-American Conference is doing me no favors with all these Tuesday and Wednesday games because of all the conferences in college football. It is my least favorite. Now, I'm going to give you a Mid-American Conference college complimentary play coming up in just a moment, plus an NBA free selection on the Raptors and the Bulls. And, of course, yesterday, an easy free winner here on the video report with the Lions as I wrapped up a 3-0 sweep with your NFL freebies. It was a great day for all the handicappers, yours truly included here on Monday night. And we'll talk about that and situational handicapping in the NBA. But listen, as they say, I'd much rather put off until tomorrow what I could have done today when it comes to talking about the MAC conference. So let's do something we haven't done in a while. This day in history. Yes, because guys, you have to be entertained and informed because listen, I feel it's my responsibility in case you're on Jeopardy next week to have you prepared. So, in 1944, on this day, FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, re-elected president for a record-setting third time. And who did he defeat? Come on, quick. Governor of New York at the time, Thomas Dewey. Of course, the only president in history to win a fourth term in office, but it was a short-lived term because 3 months after his inauguration on April 12th, 1945, he passed away in Warm Springs, Georgia. If you ever get a chance, and you have to be in Atlanta, it's about an hour and a half drive south of Atlanta, almost on the border of Alabama. You can go visit, tour the museum down there. You can tour the Warm Springs facility as well. That's where he also went for his polio treatments that he thought were helping him set up a big facility down there. You can tour that facility. It's a fascinating place. I recommend it to you highly. It's a beautiful little section of backwoods nowhere in the middle of the corner of Georgia, bordering on Alabama. Recommend it highly to you. And also on this day in history, in 1991, an announcement that shook the sports world and really shook up the world in other regards as well. Do you know what happened that day? Do you remember? 1991, Magic Johnson retiring for the first time from the Lakers, announcing that he was HIV positive. Yes, that was quite an earth-shattering day. Also now, a little something more amusing and a little twist here when it comes to irony. Tiffany. Oh, you remember Tiffany. You remember that red-headed singer, Tiffany? She hit #1 on the U.S. Singles Hot 100 Billboard chart with I Think We're Alone Now. A forgettable song, I will grant you that. One that you will never want to remember after this video report. Ending a 2-week run of Michael Jackson's Bad. And the irony is this. Initially, I Think We're Alone Now was a #1 hit back in 1967 by Tommy James and the Shondells. Now, Tiffany was the youngest act to score a #1 hit on the U.S. Billboard chart since Michael Jackson did so back in 1972 with a song about a rat and about a movie called Ben, okay? Now, here's the irony, another twist. 2 weeks later, Tiffany was knocked off her perch at the #1 spot on the Billboard charts by Billy Idol's cover version of Money Money. And who did that song? And where was it back in 1968? #3 on the U.S. charts? Tommy James and the Shondells. So there you have it. You can rest easier today. Now, let's talk about situational handicapping. I think it's one of the most important things when it comes to the NBA. Yesterday, because I eschewed the Lions-Packers game and told you that I gave it to you free here on the video report, I thought the best bet was in the NBA. Situational handicapping is something that you always have to be aware of when you're handicapping NBA games. And one of the best situations is when you have a team coming off or facing a back-to-back situation, and especially when you have that team in a road situation. And I had that team last night. I had not the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I had the Phoenix Suns. My God, that whole Tiffany thing just threw me out of whack here. I had the Phoenix Suns coming back home last night, playing the second of back-to-back games. They had lost on Sunday against the San Antonio Spurs, a game that they were up by 4 points at halftime and then only scored 13 points in the third quarter. They were playing their third game in 4 days, second of back-to-back. The fact that they were coming back home was inconsequential. The way, as I put in my analysis, that you saw that they collapsed in the third quarter clearly was indicative to me that you had a team that had tired legs. And the fact that they were also playing the third of 4 games in 4 days stretch was even better in terms of that situational handicapping spot. Now, the fact that they were hosting the Brooklyn Nets, a team that was 0-4 on the road, didn't matter. The fact that they had beat Brooklyn on the road the week prior didn't matter. What mattered to me was Brooklyn had lost, yes, its previous game against the LA Lakers in LA, but that was Friday night. You had a Brooklyn team on the West Coast, a hop, skip, and a jump away from Phoenix, well rested, waiting to take on a Suns team that was tired. Brooklyn jumped out to the big lead. Yeah, the Suns made a nice 21-6 run, took a 2-point lead in the fourth quarter, but Brooklyn came back. Thanks to D'Angelo Russell's exploits in the fourth quarter, regained a shooting touch, and Brooklyn got the job done. I cashed in with a 15-dime best bet. You got it as the half-price play of the day. I improved to 4-1 with those plays just over the past week alone. Situational handicapping, back-to-back night games. You have to go against those teams 99% of the time. Now, the NBA, because of the way they restructured this year's schedule, shortening the exhibition season, heeding the players' complaints and the union's complaints about it as well, have tried to limit the number of those back-to-back situations this season. So it's harder to find those spots, but when you can get them in road situations especially, that's a situation that you've got to be able to jump on and take advantage of it from a gambling perspective. Also, of course, the hottest handicapper here at the site right now remains Chris Jordan. He did it again last night with a double your wager 2,000 star release as he cashed in last night with the Lions, only the 10th ever double your wager NFL release of his career over the past 35 years. That was on the heels of the 9th ever NFL double your wager play with Jacksonville over Cincinnati on Sunday. Today, double your wager 2,000 star NBA winner number 26 out of 34, just as strong as the past 2 days in the NFL. $1 bettors have won a little over $59,000 since late last November. We're talking an 11.5-month run. Hell, they have won 10 grand since last Monday, as it goes for winning day number 8 out of 9 tonight. It's on Memphis and Portland, and it is again the half-price play of the day by using coupon code CHRIS. Also hot, Trace Adams, 6-0 sweep the past 4 days. Another raised the bar 1,500 star winner. Number 78 out of 129 long term. Number 18 out of 24 short term. It's on Bowling Green Buffalo. Bigger than his normal top-rated 1,000 star winner last night on the Lions. Matches Saturday's 1,500 star winner, Missouri kicking Florida's ass. Matches Fridays on Marshall, Mid-American Conference play. Wednesdays, Central Michigan outright over Western Michigan, MAC play. Tuesdays on Ohio over Miami of Ohio, MAC play. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code RAISE. So those are your plays tonight. Oh, by the way, I have another NBA play going tonight for half price. Another 15-dime best bet. I've got a team that's coming off a loss that's on the road tonight that I think rebounds with a double-digit rout. This is a 15-dime play, 4-1 since last Monday. These 15-dime best bets in the NBA, 104, 76, and 3 since the 2009 season. Half price coupon code is HOOPS, HOOPS. Now, let me get to your NBA selection tonight. I'm going to take a shot with the Toronto Raptors, minus the 11 now. This line has escalated from 10 to 11 at the time of this video report. At home tonight against the Chicago Bulls. Listen, the Raptors are coming off a home loss against the Washington Wizards in their last game a couple of nights ago. But keep in mind that Kyle Lowry received 2 technical fouls and was ejected in that game in the second quarter. They're not the same team without Kyle Lowry, okay? Opening night at home, these two met up, and the Bulls lost that game 117-100. And in that game, what impressed me the most is that Lowry and DeMarco DeRozan combined for just 23 points, and yet they won it by 17. And that backcourt combination that night shot a combined 6 for 16, and they still won by 17 points. Why? Because C.J. Miles had 22 points in his debut, because the big guy, Jonas, his name escapes me. the big guy, Jonas, starts with a V, and I can't think of his last name, had a monster game that night. I can remember his points and his rebounds, 23 points and 15 rebounds. Isn't that amazing? I can't remember his last name. I must be getting old. It's dealing with these handicappers here at the site. It's really affecting my memory. Anyway, he just came back. He's playing his 4th game after missing 4 games with an injury. I think his presence is going to be important here tonight, as the Bulls have to have at least a draw in the middle, because the Bulls are a decent rebounding team. The Bulls struggle offensively. That's their problem. This is a team that shocked me last Friday when they won outright by double digits as an 8-point underdog at Orlando. But that was just their 2nd win of the season. I just think the Raptors, coming off the loss, they'll be refocused tonight. I expect Lowry and DeRozan to both have big games here tonight, and I like Toronto in this spot. So now, without further ado, let's get to the Mid-American Conference. I'm going to take a look at that game between Buffalo and Bowling Green. You know, this is a Buffalo team that closed September with 3 straight wins, but then they went 0-4 in October, all Mid-American Conference games, and they lost those 4 games by a total of 15 points. What happened? Injuries. They lost their top 2 starting quarterbacks. They lost their starting running back. That'll definitely take its toll. But they got their 1 quarterback back. Tyree Jackson, the 6'7" sophomore, played in their last game for the first time since September 23rd on Saturday. 21-20 loss to Akron, but career high 313 yards, completing 34 50 passes. Now, that's the good news. Here's the bad news. His mobility is a big part of his game, and he entered that contest with 227 yards rushing. He only scrambled once in that game because he had a knee injury. They're trying to protect him. He's not going to be taking off. So that will definitely hurt their offense somewhat. You have Bowling Green coming off a Halloween night win over Kent State, 44-16. You got a Bowling Green team that's won 11 of the last 14 in the series, including 6 straight. You got a Bowling Green team that has a pair of freshmen anchoring its backfield. Strong running back who's made quite an impression here, with Andrew Clare being his name, 4 straight 100-yard performances. A freshman quarterback who just returned from a back injury to reclaim his starting job in the Kent State game. But you got a Bowling Green defense that is absolutely as porous can be. Bowling Green, number 124 out of 129 Division I teams when it comes to their run defense. Giving up 245.3 yards a game, 5.5 yards per carry. But you have a Buffalo team that isn't the greatest at running the ball. However, you got a Bowling Green team that gives up 35.3 points per game. That's almost 11 points more than Buffalo gives up per game. You have a Bowling Green team that only has 13 sacks in 9 games on the season. So I think that definitely bodes well for the Buffalo quarterback Jackson here. At the same time, however, you have a Buffalo team that only has 12 sacks on the season. So I think that this game has the potential to be a close game. I think Buffalo can win this game, but I don't see Buffalo being able to stop a Bowling Green offense that can put some points on the board. Yeah, Bowling Green's going to give up a good share of its points, but I like the way they've been running the ball here lately. And I think that this game could be one of those 24-20, 27-24, maybe even a 34-30 type of game. Because face it, this is a Buffalo team that has had its confidence shaken with those 4 straight losses by a total of 15 points. This is a Bowling Green team that did the unexpected and actually beat the hell out of somebody in Kent State in its last game. So they're the team that has a little momentum and has a little confidence. So I'd rather grab the points. Again, this line is up to 8 points now, and go with Bowling Green, a team that has won 6 straight and 11 out of 14 in the series, and call for the close game. And that's why I like Bowling Green in this game. Again, the Mid-American Conference, I'll leave it at that. That'll do it for today's video, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Good luck, everybody.